We can all probably draw something like this, a simple landscape with mountains and clouds that is not very detailed and it's not very realistic either. Well, in this video, I'm going to be telling you how to go from this to something like this, which is actually very easy, and I think a lot of beginners who struggle with drawing landscapes can learn a lot from this video. So without further ado, let's get started. For this tutorial, all you will need is a pen or whatever drawing tool that you like, and also some paper. I'm just going to be using my sketchbook for here. So we've all seen people draw mountains like just using regular triangles. Maybe it'd look something like this. And they'd add like some snow on top. Although this looks like okay, of course it's not it's not the best that you can do with drawings of a mountain. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can upgrade this and make it look a lot more realistic. The first thing that you want to do is realize that mountains aren't going to be perfect triangles all the time, because in the natural world, rocks are usually jagged. So you're going to want to practice using a loose line, maybe holding your pen or pencil differently, and being able to create this kind of like jagged shape, you know? Second thing, from going from this to a more realistic drawing of a mountain, you want to realize that mountains aren't two-dimensional. So with a regular triangle, you're having this, right? Which is what represents this. But with a more realistic mountain, you want it to be 3D. So you're gonna have like a pyramid where there's a side that is just shadowy and a side that's light. So you're going to have to keep that in mind. And the final thing that you want to do is just practice being able to go out of the triangle shape. So you can draw like maybe more like rounded, or you can draw more jagged, and just practice drawing these sort of more freely than this just straight lines. And after you're able to do that, we can move on and start an actual drawing of what I think would be a better way of drawing mountains than just using regular triangles. For this drawing, I'm going to be using two layers. Like there's going to be a foreground and a background. So then that can create a better sense of depth and also create a sense that the picture is more three-dimensional as it's receding to the back. So you want to create an outline, just make it loose. Don't worry too much about how jagged it is. Just like have it be as natural as you want, and just use your pen or pencil, whatever you're doing, and just start creating some lines like that. And there is what I'm going to be using for my first layer. So these lines, I want to transform them into something more mountain-like. So I'm going to hold my pen like this. I'm going to just add in some lines going from the top of the mountain on the sides and whatever, and bringing it down to create like a sort of rocky effect and make it super loose. Just like, it doesn't even matter if you're doing one line or just some broken up lines like that. I want to do it with both, or however many mountains you want in the foreground. So after you have this, we're going to create an outline for the back ones. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, you can just speed up or pause the video if you want, but leave in the comments if this is good or if it's like just what pace I should be going at. So I'm going to just draw in an another loose outline. I'm gonna make this one more of a triangle so that we have a clear like top mountain and just in the middle. So now that we have these mountains in the back, we can do the same thing that we were doing here, but this time be more intentional on where the lines are putting out. So I'm going to connect this with this. I want it to be just like continuous mountain. So I have that, and this would be curving up, and then put one here too, like that. And you want to go from the ones in the back that are more triangular shaped. You want to go from the direct like top point of them, like this. Just create a jagged line down to the bottom, like this. You can go either way you want. Now I'm going to add some more lines just coming from some jagged areas in here. So like here. So now that we have some basic shapes on what we want these mountains to look like, we can start to experiment with some shading. So if you're using a pencil, what you're gonna do is take your line, jagged mountain thing. You want to choose one side that you want to be shaded. So usually I go with, this side, like, and then you're just gonna go in and shade the dark and make it be dark. And choose one line where the other side just becomes light, so that we create the effect that there's a sun and the sun's hitting the side of the mountain. And I'll demonstrate what I mean on this one using a pen. So I'm going to I want to choose a side that is actually smaller, so I'm probably going to choose this side of the mountain to shade. So with pen, you're not going to be shading, of course, because you can't get lighter with pen. So I'm going to do a technique called hatching and cross hatching. So what hatching is creating parallel lines like this to imply a shadow. And to imply a darker shadow, you can go hatching and then cross hatch, which is just going the other way. That would be a darker shadow. So what this would look like would be like, this is darkest, and then the farther away the lines get, the lighter it is. So darkest, and then there would be the darkest to the lightest, moving in that direction. So on this page, I'm going to just start doing that. Okay, so now that I have this done, basically I kind of want to add some trees. So I'm gonna take a darker pen, maybe like this. If you were using pencil, you can use an eraser to erase some parts. But since I'm using pen, I can't obviously erase this. So I'm gonna use a dark pen to start drawing some trees. And since my trees are really close to the camera, I'm gonna make them quite big. So now now that I have the trunks of the trees drawn, I'm going to add leaves. And I have a really easy way and fast way of drawing trees. So once you have your line, which is your trunk where you want the tree to be, all you gotta do, start scribbling. Scribbling, go from side to side, like that. And then get wider as you go to the bottom, so it's like a triangle kind of. But just go like that. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Getting fatter as you go to the bottom. And there you got yourself a tree. Nice tree. So I'm gonna do that with these. So start from the top, scribble, scribble, get fatter. As you go to the bottom. And there we go. There's my first tree. There we go, I'm done. Actually, no, one more thing. Clouds. You can't forget the clouds. So, for clouds, my basic shape is just circles. So, say you're drawing a circle, but make part of the circle not there. So just like that, like a C. It's like a little C. You're just gonna draw C's. You can make some small, some big. Like that. Just keep drawing C's. And then after you're done drawing your C's, draw a line at the bottom. So you make C's going the other way too. And there's your cloud. And that's opposed to having like that kind of cloud. Like that kind of cloud. I'll show you, it's better to see on this page. So you draw a C, draw another C, another C, C like this, make a big one here, make some smaller ones, make some facing this way, like this, just draw some nice stuff, and then just draw a thin line from the bottom, go like that. There's my cloud, and draw some more here. Birds don't really matter because they're kind of small and in the distance, but I think they're a nice touch to finish off any landscape painting or drawing you're doing. So there we go. That is how to draw a mountain landscape and take your drawing skills to the next level. So there it is. Let's get a zoom in shot. So I hope you learned something, and I hope that your drawing turned out great. And if you have any questions, comments, how well you follow this tutorial, or if I should change anything so that it's easier to follow, this is my first tutorial I've ever done, so any feedback would be great. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.